I think it's time we talk about DBD because I feel like this game isn't really in the best state right now. Now, I've been playing DBD for just over a year, and this is definitely my #1 most played game on the PlayStation. I have just over 400 hours, so I'm not super new. I did start in January of last year, 2025, and I've been playing just for over a year now, almost 2 years coming up. And there's a lot of things I've noticed about this game, mainly coming from the community side of things, and then there's also the corporate side of things or the behavior side of things. And I just wanted to make a video talking about this because I'm not super new to the game or anything. Like I said, I have pretty high MMR. I'm fairly decent at the game, both killer sided and survivor sided. And I feel like I have a little room to say what I want to say here. Now, I just wanted to talk about behavior mainly, and then I'll go into the community side of things. But my biggest complaint with them is I really feel like, as kind of a newcomer, I haven't been playing for a whole lot of time, like I said, but I still feel like, as someone who's fairly new to the game, the devs don't care about the community whatsoever, okay? I feel like they personally just care about what will make them the most amount of money. That is how I feel. Now, we just got Jason Voorhees. People have been anticipating this guy for 10 years. That was a pretty cool thing. But in that time, there's been so many bugs in this game that they could have fixed. And usually when there's a bug, they'll just kill switch something and then they won't fix it for like a week. Now, the biggest, most prime example I could think of is during 2v8, last time it was around, they just kill switched Wesker for almost all of 2v8. He was just kill switched for literally, I think it was like 2 weeks he was kill switched. And it wasn't that big of a problem. I'm sure if they worked on it, I'm not a game dev or anything, right? But if they really took their time to solve the problem and fix it, they could have fixed it fairly fast. But he was kill switched for 2 weeks. And Wesker, I mean, he's my main in 2v8, and he's one of my main killers just as a killer. He's super fun to play. And the fact that they left him kill switch for 2 weeks instead of trying to solve the problem shows something. I think the people over at Behavior are just super lazy, they don't do their job, and they especially don't play their own game. Behavior has tried to implement so many changes that just completely changes how the game is played. The biggest example I can think of is just a few months ago when they wanted to implement anti-tunneling and anti-camping base kit into the game. Now, how they were going to do that is they were going to make it so every survivor had base kit unbreakable. And if you got slugged, I think it's just over after about 90 seconds. If the killer doesn't pick you up, you can just automatically pick yourself up and run away. They wanted to make that base kit, but then on top of that, they wanted to make it so if you were getting tunneled out and you were the first one to die on hook and like you had 2 hook states beforehand, the killer would just get huge nerfs to himself. They wouldn't be able to kick gens, or they wouldn't do as much damage to gens, and they're just going to completely go for the killer here. Now, I strongly believe this game is super survivor-sided, and I'm a main survivor, so like, it's not really affecting me, and in all honesty, it's probably making my experience better, but I don't want this game to be survivor-sided. This game is supposed to be a horror game, and it's honestly not a horror game. Like, when I first started playing this game, I was like, wow, this is actually scary. But now that I'm playing the game and learning, this game's not scary at all. It's just got the slightest fear factor into it, and that's all it has. Like, DBD is just, honestly, it's a joke. And it's kind of sad to say because this game came from being super scary back when you look at these older clips from like 2015. The game actually looked and felt scary, but now we're in present day and the game has just shifted completely. It's honestly just embarrassing because this game, when I first started playing it, it was just so fun. There was something about it compared to all the other games that I played that just made this game so special. And maybe it was the fact that there were so many licensed killers that made it so fun, or the fact that you could play with your friends. I don't really know what the magic of the game was. But now that I've been playing this game for almost just over a year now, it just sucks. And even for this summer event that's been going on, my mentality of this game has just been going down the drain. And honestly, my motivation for this game has also been just depleting rapidly. The Chaos Shuffle event just ended, and now Lights Out is here. And guess what? You're not even allowed to bring offerings. Now, I understand if they vaulted map offerings or something like that, because map offerings could be kind of broken if you're wanting to get this specific map and it's super dark. Like, I can understand that. But you're not even allowed to bring offerings that increase your blood points. And we just had the anniversary event a month ago. And all those toothy tories that I saved up, I'm not even allowed to use in this event. So I'm capping out at about 60,000 blood points, which sounds like a lot, but in hindsight, it's really not that much. When I was running Toothy Tories with Chaos Shuffle and the amplifier for Survivor, plus the extra amplifier for just playing the game mode itself, I was able to make at most 200,000 blood points. So I was going from a super good game, making 200,000 blood points, to then on my best game for this game mode, making 60,000. That just makes no sense. I don't understand why they could just vault or kill switch all the other add-ons and make it so that you can only use the ones that give you blood points. That makes no sense to me. Now, moving away from this event, let's talk about the anniversary event, because that was so Survivor-sided. We had all these cakes that could give us specific things. We had a cake that could let us go invisible. We had a cake that would give us sprint burst. We had a cake that made it so when you got hit, it wouldn't actually work if you timed it correctly, and it would make it so the killer would hit something random. And those are all just so broken. Now, I understand why they're in there. It's kind of fun, and it was a fun event. But when you have these specific things, such as invisibility, there would be times where I would eat the cake, and I'm on death hook or whatever, and I would just be able to get away because I would eat the cake, go invisible, and then I could just teleport away. And it was so busted. Now, honestly, it wasn't like a super big deal, and I still enjoyed it, but the times I would play Killer, it was super frustrating, because I would play these games where someone's on death hook, or I just injured someone, they eat a cake, and they're gone. And then I can't find them, so when I actually find them again, they've reset and they've got their health state back. It was so busted. Now, again, I had a lot of fun during that event, and again, I'm gonna state this, I'm a Survivor main. But my biggest problem with this game is the fact that the game's so Survivor-sided. I don't understand why behavior holds Survivor's hands. It makes no sense. Now, I think it boils down to the fact that the community just complain and complain and complain, and then behavior decides, oh, you know what, they're complaining about this, let's go ahead and listen to them, because they don't want any backlash. And that is just so ridiculous, because the majority of the people that are complaining just aren't good at the game, and that's why they want something to change. They just complain their way, hoping that behavior will make some sort of change, and then when they do make the change, they just do the same thing with something else, and it is so frustrating. Like, especially with the whole thing of the anti-camping and anti-slugging, I honestly hadn't seen that many complaints. I would see complaints here and there, but I don't think it was getting complained about enough to the fact that behavior would just implement that. And of course, it didn't come to the base game, it was in a PTB, and everyone complained about it, thankfully. But the thing it boils down to, okay, I'm gonna use this as an example. I spent my hard-earned 30 bucks on this game, okay? If I want to play Killer and I want to slugger tunnel someone out, even though that's crappy, I spent my $30 to do something I want to do. If I spent $30 and if I'm on my last gen, if they just popped the last 4 gens, there's 1 gen left, and I have 3 hooks. So I'm like, you know what? This game's in shambles. I'm gonna go ahead and slug, and I'm gonna tunnel, so that I can win my game as Killer, because again, your objective as Killer is to kill the survivors. So I decide I'm gonna slug and I'm gonna tunnel. And they just remove that completely because of backlash. That is literally just removing something that's been in the core game for years and years and years, and removing it because someone doesn't want to run Decisive Strike or any other anti-camp or anti-tunnel perk. You could use freaking Unbreakable, you could use Tenacity, you could use Decisive Strike, you could use Dead Hard even. All these perks are to help you prevent that. If you've been tunneled out 3 or 4 times, you know what? Just run an anti-tunnel or anti-camping build. That's all you have to do, and then you'll actually start having fun again. But they just hold the survivor's hands, and that is all they do. Like, you just have to complain, 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 and then they'll make a change to make your experience better, but then it ends up ruining everyone else's experience. Now, just what this all boils down to is I feel like as a content creator and as a community member of DBD, they don't care about me. I feel like they only care about the people that just complain, 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 and make sure the game goes the way that they want it to, so that they'll continue playing the game, so that behavior can in turn return making money. That's all it boils down to. I'm frustrated that this game has just turned into people complaining, and then the whole tone of the game just shifting because someone doesn't want it to be that way, and then they'll add these changes that just make no sense. Like, it honestly just boils down to the fact that I really don't think Behavior plays their own game. They'll just implement these changes, or they'll throw out a new update, and there will be like 20 bugs that they have to fix. And like just a couple of weeks ago, they just vaulted the Springtrap skin, this one right here. Why are we doing that? That's a skin that people have paid for, and I guess it was due to something like maybe you couldn't hear his footsteps. I don't know exactly why they vaulted it, but instead of fixing the problem right then and there, they just vault the skin and then worry about it later. Like, that's their motto. If there's something broken, worry about it later. That's their motto, I swear. So it's just super frustrating because I feel like all Behavior cares about is just making money. And all they care about is listening to the people that complain because they want them to keep playing the game and spending money. And if they go to some other game or they just stop touching DBD for a couple months, that's money that they're losing because they're not on DBD. So the way they fix it is by listening to all the people that complain and make the experience better for them. But in return, it's just making the experience for everyone else so much worse. And I don't understand why they do that. Like, of course you have to listen to what a majority of the community says, but if it's just going to be complaints about how the game plays, or, oh, I keep getting tunneled, oh, I keep getting slugged, well then guys, that's a you problem. Run Unbreakable or run Dead Hard. Those are perks in the game that can make your experience better. And if you keep getting tunneled or slugged, all you have to do is run perks to help avoid that. But then if we make something like that base game, it just makes the game so much more miserable for the killers. Now, I've kind of got my rant out of the way, and this is Editor Halo here, by the way. I just realized I went from being relatively calm to very frustrated very quickly throughout this video, and it just goes to show how passionate I am about this game, but that it's just such a big issue that's affecting me. It's genuinely annoying, the fact that they just implement these things. Like, I feel like I'm just most upset about the fact that we can't use offerings in the new game mode. That makes no sense why they couldn't implement something like that. So it's just super frustrating because I love this game, it's super fun, but there's times where I hate it as well. And DBD, it's honestly like my favorite game right now. But there's these times where I just hate it and I don't want to play it. Like, I'll go on a few month hiatus and I'll stop playing, but like, it's such a fun game, it keeps me coming back, and it's just so frustrating because they want to implement these things that just break the game, or they want to do something, or they forget about something, and it's just so annoying to keep playing the game. Now, I know I'm gonna get backlashed on this video, and I'm fully ready for it. Honestly, come at me, it's fine, I don't even care. But it's just annoying, and all I wanted to do in this video was just kind of share some of my frustrations with this game, but also just share the frustrations I have with the community, as well as the game devs. And it's just really annoying. Like, this past week especially during the event has been super annoying, and I've just had bad experiences with the community and just the game itself. Like, one of the biggest issues I've had this past week is just getting terrible teammates, and this clip I'm gonna show you guys. This is terrible. This Quentin, he brought the offering so that he could get 1% luck. He was the first one to get down, so he got hooked, and then he took all 3 chances to unhook himself. Then he started killing himself on death hook. I went and unhooked him and tried to heal him, and he kept running away from me. Then he just went and started throwing a ton of pallets. He's purposely throwing the game just because he was the first one to get hooked. And I honestly think that he brought that offering just so that he could throw the game intentionally. That is just such a stupid thing to do. You waited in the queue time to purposefully get on death hook and then ruin the experience for everyone else. That's just such a stupid thing to do, and it's just so frustrating. Now, this video is getting close to 15 minutes, so I better just end it here, or I'm gonna keep going on and on. But my whole intention for this video was to just explain where I'm coming from. I normally don't get this angry in my videos. I, of course, got pretty angry at that Sable Ward video, but like, it's not even just the Sable Wards that are affecting me. It's the whole community itself, and DBD as well, and Behavior. Like, just the game, it just sucks, and it's so terrible. The community's pretty bad, the game devs are bad, like, it just sucks. And I want to keep playing this game, and of course I'm gonna keep playing this game, but I want this game to feel more fun. I want the game devs to actually start caring about the game, because again, I feel like all they care about is money. They don't care about the game, and it's just so annoying. So I honestly want to know, do you guys agree with me? Because I'm sure some of you guys out there are going to agree with me, and obviously all my friends have the same takes as me. We all play together. I don't play Survivor solo. I always play with my friends, and so we experience these problems together, and it's just super frustrating. So like I said, I'm going to end the video here before I keep ranting. but I just want to know, even if it's a small percent of you guys, you have to agree with me, right? Like, you guys have to notice it too. So just leave comments down below. I'll read them all. And if you guys flame me, you know what, go for it. I don't really care. Again, I wanted to share my frustrations with this game, the devs, and the community. So that's all it boils down to. Thank you guys for watching. I know a majority of this video was ranting, so I apologize, but I didn't have a script or anything written out for this video. This was just full on, just from the heart. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.